to try and help her team get a win here tonight. So the Sea Eagles get us underway, and it will be Edwards trotting back towards the defensive line for the first carry. Joondalup trying to work it out of their own end, and goes across, and it's with Edwards.
Good game for Edwards last week.
So 2 Edwards so far with the first 2 carries. And we see in at 9, in at dummy half there, there's Parakura Shernak, who was fantastic last week, a name that we didn't know, but looking forward to seeing her run around here again tonight as the Giants shift out to that right-hand side, and it's Cave out there that's stepping in field. It's come up with an error, I believe.
I think so there as well. We'll see the first scrum of the evening.
Well, just a simple error in the end there for the Giants.
Nothing in this. Double through the hands. Caves just tries to cut back on the inside and lost at the bottom here.
Just a little bobble there at the bottom of the force of the tackle. Tirui was the defender in there. Just contact up around the ball, and as soon as she hit the ground, it came out. So a chance now for North Beach. You've got to think, like, that's a touch there, I think. That might have been both ways. It's going to be first one against North Beach.
Yeah, I think if anything, backwards Joondalup first. All that motion, you can't say that was forward. So Joondalup, good control. Second scrum, just opposite side of the park to where we were for the first.
You've got to think the way they start this game is going to be important for North Beach. It's 19 players against 13, so North Beach will have no bench, and we've got a sloppy start. Another error.
Just not quite coming together. It's the same as we saw last week as well for Joondalup. The first 6 or 7 minutes, they got done 3 times.
Maybe the wind and the cold, and Nika Cave's not quite enjoying it. She's had a couple of errors to start this game. Let's see if we can get through a completed set, or even a completed tackle. They've had 3 mistakes before we've had a tackle. Well, there we've got one.
3v3 down the short side. Good chance of an inside ball to charge through the line. Well done by Funga. Gets an offload through. Short side option again. Winger on winger. Chance for Cox. Decides to step in. Territory the gain here.
Yeah, we saw Cheyenne Campbell there. I don't know whether Cheyenne Campbell's ever worn the number 5 jersey in her life, but she's out there in the middle where she normally is. That one dumped back. So Campbell's the one that's got to go back and clean it up. Stands, bumps away from a couple. They get the pass to the outside, and a chance now for North Beach. Out on the wing, the last pass is called forward. Well, it looked like Rose Wallace was in the corner.
Plenty of whistle first up here. Friday night footy. Eager to get on the game as well, the referees. Obviously the first 4 errors. Now getting the forward pass on the first break in play. We haven't had the completed set yet still.
Well, I'm trying to work out exactly what the call is here. I think he's got a touch for Joondalup and then a forward pass from North Beach. So it's going to be a North Beach feat.
Yeah, right. Big attacking setup here for North Beach. All set out left. Keen to run onto this one. Break is good from the scrum. Defence came up into the line. Solid hit on White. Surrenders inside the 20. Short side option. Happy to loop and play inside. One off goal line defence now. Shifting right hand side. Toby plays heads up. Decides to go with the big ball runners. Quick replay of the ball here if they can get to their feet. Short side available for Beach to get on the board first. Darting through the inside. Good bit of footwork by Teruri. And dots it over for the first try of the night for North Beach.
They've got some clever footballers out here, the North Beach Sea Eagles, and that was a well-constructed attacking set. Finished off rather simply, just dumbing to the outside, stepping through, and it was actually Anika Stevens there that failed to close that gap after the first marker chased a little hard, and Tirui goes across for the first try of the evening. North Beach 4-0, kick to come.
This is the worry for Joondalup. Same as last week. They're just unable to build that defensive pressure early. Nothing too mysterious about that set. Yeah, repeated sets inside the 20 gives a lot of freedom to the attack, but scoring on third pretty much under the sticks is not exactly where they want to be round 2.
Absolutely not, and it's been a good start for North Beach and Joondalup. They'll be behind the goal line talking about let's complete some sets. Let's get through, complete a set, and see what happens, because you feel if they hold onto the ball, then they're going to cause a lot of troubles. But they've done nothing but come up with mistakes so far, as that conversion is successful. So we have another look on the fuel to go on play replay of the Tiruhui try. 6-0. North Beach over Joondalup on the Cash Converter scoreboard.
Certainly was a good crack off the right there. Probably gained about 1.5 meters of space on the inside.
Yeah, it's, they always talk about splitting the markers, but generally that's that's in relation to trying to get some extra metres from general field running. Splitting the markers right on the try line, you know, it's not something you see too often, but that's exactly what happened there. As we see another good run here from Campbell, just coming off the back fence, and first tackle on the 40-metre line. Now show and go, holding the ball in 2 hands, just waiting for the defence to hold up onto the halfway line. So work down a short side. Jumps into the tackle.
Good offload.
Chest pass comes out now with Cox. Cox goes back in field. Good set after point so far from North Beach. It's for Unger that waits for it. Goes out to Lowndes. Lowndes looks to straighten and finds up a little bit of space before she is dragged down. Joondalup, they're just holding on here. Comes across again, and the kick.
Cave covering well here. Allows it to bounce. Good crack off the right foot. Goosey around the outside. Now just settles near touch. Going to be a big set here for Joondalup. Climb their way back to halfway and see what opens up from there. 3 in the tackle. Halting progress and slowing it down. Little scoop from half. Good meters gain. Now they've got to find an Edwards. Here's one. Shaping out left-hand side. Crack up for halfway. Chanel Edwards opens things up. Joondalup kick right-hand side. Halves get to work. June Biddle slicing them through. Good check on the inside. Tries to throw it through the lines. Lowndes will be there to cover. Almost half a chance for Joondalup. Turned over now, and Lowndes will get tackled on her 30.
Well, Lowndes must have called for that because she was the only player there. Now we see White getting out of dummy half just to try and ease some pressure, but we see how dangerous Biddle can be in the 6 there for the Giants. Slicing them up, just again, ball in 2 hands, defence holds off, and she goes through whatever hole is there. So North Beach just lacking a little cohesion here. The halves need to get in and take control in Toby and Funga. Sloppy play the ball. There's Funga. Turns it underneath. So they get up towards the halfway line. Now they work the short side. Funga again. That time goes for a run herself on tackle 5. Kicking from right on the halfway line. Everybody on side. That's gone backwards. Cave will go back and clean it up. There's a bit of a staggered chasing line here for North Beach. Well, Cave will enjoy that. Tries to pull out of the tackle. Doesn't get any help.
Good hold of the boost laces, that's for sure. Little pick right-hand side. Giants very flat, but spread out wide. 12 abreast, out to the left. Set up on their 40. Halves turn to get involved. It's Singleton. Tied up in the middle. Nowhere to really go. Toby the first in there. Over halfway, short little break out the right-hand side. Nothing coming, plenty there to tackle.
Yeah, that's always going to be a clever tactic after a Stevens run for Parakurashunak to go from dummy half.
Edwards kicks on last, sends it over into the corner. Lowndes should be able to cover, but there is still pressure coming. Darts down the sideline and finds a little bit of open space. Tries to take it around the outside again. Doubles back inside Cave, but she's turned it over. Stripped it away and play on the call, but she doesn't realise. Now Cave wants to press forward, and the referee moment got the better of them all, and we pull it back.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with here. It was a one-on-one strip, but then it... Okay, well, that's it. I think it was a one-on-one strip, but I think Cave actually knocked it forward in stripping it out. So it should be a scrum feed for North Beach because of the referee inadvertently blowing his whistle. The touch judge's call was that it was a fair one-on-one strip, went backwards, and they've come back for the play the ball. So Joondalup with an opportunity. So Edwards takes that forward. 6 points to 0. The Sea Eagles in front. But it's the Giants on the attack. They look out to the right-hand side with Stevens. Stevens goes out the back to Biddle. Again, show and go this time. The Sea Eagles don't fall for it. Parakurashunak at dummy half. Again to Stevens. Stevens getting her hands on the ball. And tackled just short of the line.
Great pick.
Well, again, the defence is held up, but spins over and gets it down.
Just pays from the bottom of the ruck, going twice in a row. North Beach are out on their feet, underneath the line, still unable to get up.
Well, you kind of asked the question here, did Joondalup need any more than 2 players for this set of 6? There was Anika Stevens and Parakurashunak, those two just going bang, 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 and it's the latter that eventually spins over and gets the Giants' first try.
6 points to 4, kick to come though, for Joondalup to tie things up. We're only 12 minutes into the first half. Plenty of trading back and forth midfield, Donny, but do you have a better attack or a better defence?
Well, yeah, again, it's an interesting game so far, isn't it? It's a bit of a seesawing affair. You kind of feel like the Giants look the better with ball in hand, but both teams look pretty solid in the early going. The biggest fear for North Beach is going to be fatigue at the back end of this game. We're talking to Caleb Reedy pre-game. He said if North Beach can keep all these 13 out on the field, they've got a very, very, very solid-looking lineup, and they'll be able to compete with the Giants. As that conversion attempt is waved away, so it'll be the home side retaining the lead on the Cash Converter scoreboard as we have another look on the Fuel to Go and Play replay. Once again, Parakurashunak just spins out of the tackle, desperately trying to hold on there, Kira McCaskill, but didn't take care of the ball. And the crafty dummy half gets across for the 4 points.
We're without Mitch tonight to go through our player breakdowns and all. I think the big one, we're going to talk about the halves a lot tonight, especially picking and going underneath, but Lowndes versus Cave could heat up a little bit later. Both teams happy to kick, both chasing themselves. They're actually quite well matched up against each other, I would think.
It was a great... Actually, that all started from the great run from Sinead Lowndes, went down a skinny short side, beat the winger, and it was the 2 number 1s coming together, and Cave coming up with a one-on-one strip that got Joondalup the ball. So that's a really interesting matchup. Nice hands there from Sparrow. Oof. And runs into White with some very heavy contact. White gets out of marker, wants some more work. Now Wiley turns that underneath. A nice run here from Edwards. Bumps away from 2, 3, 4. Still going. Spins around. Well, an offload would have made that a brilliant play. But gets a quick play the ball now. It's Chanel Edwards. Picks out the target running backwards. Gets on the front foot. The Giants are rolling. Stevens wants to keep that roll going. Goes out to Biddle. In. Away. Through. Biddle into the backfield. Fullback to beat. Draw. Pass. Cave for the corner. Desperate defence. What a tackle! What a tackle!
Gee, that's a good turn. Cave should have been in for all money here.
We've talked about this battle, Cave and Lowndes, and they come together again. That time Lowndes gets underneath, but we're back live. The Giants still with a great attacking opportunity. They come across field. Wiley, they've got numbers out to Edwards. Edwards steps in field. Edwards! And Maria Edwards goes across for the Giants second.
Well, they did deserve that after the first. North Beach did well. Well, Lowndes did very well to stop that. There's not much stopping Joondalup out on the left here. Plenty of hands. They've got two more on the outside to the left here, unmarked, but deciding to go underneath. Edwards gets some bickies for all the hard work she's done so far in the first.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a well-deserved try for Joondalup, but that tackle from Sinead Lowndes, it deserved to be rewarded with just one more defensive effort from her teammates to prevent Joondalup from getting that try, but wasn't to be.
The first piece of attack that led to that, Biddle was 15 metres behind play there. She really was set deep in that second line of attack and just gave herself enough time. Work up to the line, step inside. She's already broken through once tonight. Now that's two. Going to be very dangerous all night if she can set that deep and give that much freedom to herself.
Yeah, and that shape, we've seen that a couple of times tonight where it goes to Anika Stevens. She's a player that's going to draw in defence. She gets the ball, you've got to be wary of her with the ball in hand. Draws in the defence out the back to Biddle with room to move, to put on that footwork as that kick is waved away. So it's 8 points to 6 in favour of the Giants on the Cash Converters scoreboard as we see this try again from Maria Edwards. As the Giants hit the front for the first time. But yeah, just that footwork from Biddle is causing North Beach all sorts of problems. Just goes in and away and just hold. They just freeze their feet. They just stand and they watch and they're in awe. And all of a sudden Biddle comes out the other side and sprints away.
You know, I never got that trick where they say, well, don't worry about the legs, don't worry about the ball, just watch their hips. It doesn't help. It doesn't help at all.
Yeah,
I still got
You're just mesmerised by the hips.
Yeah. They're still too quick. They're still too lateral for me. North Beach to get us back underway. Kicking back to their left this time. Siding Sparrow was formidable out on the right. So they send it back left and good carry back up into the line. It was Tanioff over there. Might be her first minutes of the evening. That's an inclusion to bring on 15 minutes into the first. Two in the tackle, able to roll forward with the play.
Here we are, 10, 19.
Held cool eventually, so we can spray it out left. Trying to crack through the inside of the markers. Anika Stevens breaks the first, takes on the second, gets wrapped up around the shoulders. The rest of the defence doesn't want a part of her because there's going to be a penalty for that second up effort over the top.
Yeah, shoulders, forward, same play.
She's got a smile as well.
Yeah. She knew as soon as she jumped up, grabs her on the forward, let's go straight away.
Set out left and restarting. Singleton with the first. Plenty of crafty numbers down the short side here. They will go that way. Wiley heads up, goes to the wing and just tucks it under the arm and goes down the paint herself. Throws it back on the inside now and Edwards diving for another. Over the line, Joondalup go. 12 plays, 6 with their kick to come. And that was a good bit of heads-up play by Wiley just to take it on the 45 and pin it down the line.
Well, Nick, you mentioned, it would have been 5 minutes ago, that it's going to be key, the battle between the halves. And since you've said that, we've seen June Biddle split them on the right, and now we've seen Taryn Wiley split them on the left. And it's the halves for the Joondalup Giants that have stood up in the last few minutes, and they're making a huge, huge difference in this game.
Very hard kick from the corner now. They've offloaded it to Stevens to have the long shot attempt.
Well, Cave went up. So she went up to take the kick, and Stevens she sacked her. But yeah, she takes on the responsibility when it is the hardest kick so far tonight. Give them an 8-point advantage. They do seem to have all the momentum at the moment. That's gone across the face, and any goal kicking with this breeze tonight is going to be difficult, but at 12 points to 6, it does keep the Sea Eagles in the game. They've got to find a way to get their hands on the ball because they haven't seen it for a while.
That's it. They're not getting the errors from Joondalup for free like they do in the first 3 minutes of the game. Now you've got to earn it yourself. For those playing at home, said it was windy. We didn't tell you which way. Left to right, directly across your screen, blowing straight towards the other goalposts. So anything out on the left or right side is just hard even to get any angle.
Absolutely, and once again we see North Beach again with the limited numbers, not wasting any energy that they don't have to. They're really taking their time to get back to the halfway line, regroup their thoughts, and look to put together a good defensive set. 12-6, they're well and truly still in this contest, but you do feel the momentum has really swung in the favour of the Giants as that kick goes down, bounces around. Wiley can't come up with it. Well, they've done well there in the end, the Giants. It was an awkward one for them to handle, and it's Cave that comes up with it.
Release now. That's one. Go.
Work down a short side.
Big
Again,
error.
the ball hits the deck. It's been sloppy to start this set for Joondalup.
Stand up now.
That's 10 and F.
Here we are. Hold. Hold.
And then we've got a player down for North Beach. I think that's Ada Cox that stayed down on the ground.
Stuck here for the
Didn't
play
quite
ball.
see. Might have gone underneath. Or it's probably a little bit of friendly fire. Trying to do two big tackles there in the first bit of the play. Campbell in the 5 is actually coming from the side and shouldered her in the ribs, I think.
I think you might be right, yeah. If it's a bit of friendly fire, which for some reason just makes it sting a little bit more when it comes from a teammate. Because you can't even get up with that adrenaline going and being angry at the opposition.
Sling a
'cause
word
they've hurt
across,
you.
yeah. Joondalup restarters, deep in their own half.
Hold.
Already threw into the count a little bit. Singleton plays the ball. Stevens, flat. Good chance to run it through the middle of the park for Smiler. Hasn't had to do much of the
that was
work
that
yet.
same shape with a different option that time, as we see a good run from dummy half from Perakura Shernak.
Mix it up.
She's gone out the back every time, and that time going to Smiler with a shorter option.
Flat ball chance, Stevens.
That's good.
Goes over the top. Not going to be allowed to find any grass. Got to pass it, stay inside the left-hand field.
Well, it's the first time I've had the ball for a while here at North Beach, so wouldn't want to lose it on the first tackle. So staying in the field of play. Looks like the Giants have got plenty of energy for defence, and they come up with a ball after an error from the offload there from the Sea Eagles. Just trotting forward now and able to run a long way there is Hansel Burns before she got to the defensive line. Now they work down this short side, down this right-hand corridor, and a great run from Porter.
Just look at the setup out to the left here. They're ready to go, Joondalup.
Well, Stevens going straight through the middle.
Move now. That's 3.
And that just draws in defenders, provides some space to the outside. They code the blind side again, having a crack towards the line. Again, spinning over. Porter started it with a good carry and finishes it, scoring the try.
Could turn into a long night here. Porter able to take it down the short side. You think that was just one more player to suck in the defence even more. That wasn't the option. This was just a little hit up, set them up on 4th, 5th, and then fire it out to the 12 players on the outside. But that's twice tonight. Joondalup have been able to use the strength and turn over, come up half a metre short of the line. No worries. We're better than you. We'll put it over the line still.
Absolutely, and it's just that upper body strength that time Melody Toby had hold of the ball. Like took responsibility for wrapping that ball up, and as you said, just wasn't strong enough to hold on. Topaz Porter just too strong, spun out of the tackle and gets the ball down to the line. So another try added to the Joondalup tally. At the moment they're going up in 4s though. They prefer to be going up in 6s.
You can kick better in the second half going that way, opposite way.
Okay, he's got the job back. See how she strikes this one. It looks, it's off the post and in.
Centimetre
Over it goes.
perfect. That'll feel good as well. Take the job back, get it done. Let's take one more look at this try. It's a simple angle. Two markers have to be better. Lowndes will need to give him a tackle on goal line saves.
Yeah, I think perhaps the disappointing thing in that replay from a North Beach perspective is that there was 2 players involved in the tackle, and that there was probably another 2 or 3 that just stood there looking at it. You need to get numbers in to try and prevent that try from being scored, and there was a couple of players who just didn't do that.
Well, and it gives you more chance to chat on defence, because now you've got a pylon that needs to be cleared before we can play the ball. Gives everyone a chance to breathe. North Beach again, back to the right-hand side. Edwards tries to trap it on the shin. Couldn't keep it underneath. Goes back, collects the same ball, and now builds up a head of steam. Good one-legged tackle, though. Avoided major contact and brought Edwards to ground. Short side play. Chance to draw and pass, or just take it head on. Joondalup using all their numbers now. Everyone wants to have a crack. Edwards again, this time offloading. Stevens shows it on the outside. Intercept was a chance, so holds it in. Good shout to go right. Biddle inside for Edwards. On a sharp angle, 4 involved in the tackle. No error, says the referee. Off the foot play on. The halves will play from here. Huge charge from underneath again. Now Edwards fills in half. No, kicked out of the roll. Hansel Barnes sends it right. 5th and last. Stevens dot this one over. Just gets a little bit knocked down through the middle. Picked up Joondalup and try again. Too easy for them at the moment. That's 3 sets, 3 tries. They're having heaps of fun out there, the Joondalup Giants, and halftime can't come quick enough for North Beach at the moment.
Well, just a clever kick on last tackle. No one back there at all for the Sea Eagles, and a try for Joondalup as they just extend this lead. They are rolling forward. The North Beach Sea Eagles, they're at 6s and 7s defensively, and there's not a lot of communication going on out there. They're really struggling just to contain Joondalup for every play. They're doing their absolute best. They're giving their all, but this Joondalup side just looking to be far too classy here at the moment.
There's nowhere to hide, no real subs to speak of. Just gonna make the second half spicy enough. I know it's risky as well. You're down 6-22, but you've got your wind in the backs. Do you risk kicking it away just to limit damage before half time? Just get the ball, kick it deep, let the wind sail?
Oh, I suppose it's certainly an option. You see that the kick from out wide. It's not a bad strike, but waved away. We have another look at the replay. Fuel to go and play replay. Just chasing through and just pretty simple. There was, as I say, there was no fullback, no wingers. There was no one really around, and a try to June Biddle, who's been one of the Giants' best in this opening half. $22 points to 6. North Beach, they actually scored first points in this game. It seems a long time ago.
Well, it was immediate.
Yeah, well, they had repeat sets, back-to-back sets. Joondalup came out of the gates nice and slowly, made 3 errors, I think, in the opening 5 minutes, and they just kept inviting North Beach down there. I can't remember a mistake since.
Drilling kickoff. Popped up for Edwards again. We've seen this before. Beats the first and second. Now brought down from behind nicely. Quick play of the ball. Smartly to feet. Chance to play around now. Up over halfway after 2. Wind picks up again. Down here at Blue Force Park. Good 2 outside play. Biddle's second pass was good. Cave wants to outleash on again. Good chance for Topab. Already up to the opposition 30. Scooting from half. No marker goes with. So able just to carry up and in. Big ball runners in the middle starting to line up. Call for this ball. They're all set out on the left-hand side. Edwards will charge through the middle. Sorry, not Edwards, Smiler. Plays fifth and last. Now they go to the air again, or they just use their hands. Good kick on the outside again, straight through. No stopping Joondalup tonight. They're just 2 on. Frida Smith goes in. And just add one more to the tally before we head to the sheds for a break.
Well, it's just every set of 6, so there's no way that the Sea Eagles can contain them. And again, it got the last tackle. They did well to hold on to them for that long, but they let the ball do the talking. They swung the ball out to the left-hand side, and you know, Taryn Wiley got the ball. And again, the halves for Joondalup have been...
They're everywhere.
They've been sensational. Wiley held onto the ball, looked to go herself, and threw the pass at the correct moment out to Frida Smith and set her up for the try. And she goes over untouched.
Still got the kick to come from the corner.
Before we find out that half-time score, to see if Cave can kick her second goal of the evening, and that's probably the saving grace at the moment for North Beaches. They've only been able to convert 1 so far. Kicks that one right across the face, and that one has missed, so waved away.
End of the first half, 26 points to 6. Joondalup Giants up over the North Beach Sea Eagles. These are the tries from the first half. You'll see a lot of methodical ball movement from the Giants. They've made line breaks, they've turned underneath from halves, but at the end of the day, it's been their composure. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back with your second half after this. Welcome back to the second half of this NRL WA Women's Rugby League clash. A fantastic evening, but not a fantastic one so far for the home side, the North Beach Sea Eagles. They're down 26 points to 6. And with a low bench, it's going to be tricky now. They're into the wind. Donnie, what do they do to get better?
Well, they have to hold on to the ball. They have to complete their sets, and I think the important thing is going to be what they do without the ball.
Yeah.
So I think so far they've struggled to contain Joondalup. They've got to get some more dominance in the ruck. How exactly they do that when you've got people like Chanel Edwards and Kiri Smiler charging at you and setting that platform, I think that's a very, very difficult task for, let's say, undersized North Beach side. They've got you know, they've got Cheyenne Campbell, who's out there giving 110%, but apart from Cheyenne, they really do lack a bit of size through the middle of the field. I think that's where they've struggled so far tonight, and is controlling Joondalup's role.
That's it. Maybe the likes of Pollitt in the 10, maybe she can lay a hit, give her a licence, just lay someone out, take the penalty. It's for the greater good overall if we can actually just put a bit of fear inside the Joondalup Giants' hearts.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how they go about doing that. I mean, they can't afford to be losing players to the sin bin or sent off when they're short of numbers either. So they've just got to do the best they can as we wait for the officials to make their way out onto the field. The players are a lot keener for this second half to begin than the referees.
Oh, I heard there's sandwiches in the dressing room for the referees at half-time, so they're just getting their fill. I know they'll disappear before the end of the game.
Well, I did see some party pies and sausage rolls bouncing around before. I think that's more likely than the cucumber sandwiches, I reckon.
Not a bit of crunch? Don't want a bit of crunch at half-time? Underway, no muss, no fuss. Giants get us started, a loose carry, not what the Sea Eagles wanted at all.
No, that's exactly the opposite of what I said they needed to do. They had to complete their sets, and straight away they put themselves under pressure. Joondalup, they look like a team that's in a mood.
Yeah, they want to just show up from last week. They go down in the grand final rematch. They couldn't get it done against Ellenbrook at home. Now, I like the looks of them, but they needed to show something here tonight, and everyone kind of is putting in so far. Giants feed. Biddle lays it out left-hand side. Wiley just has to settle and surrender.
Yeah, they'd set up a nice little play there, and little juggle just took it away from them, but Wiley, smart enough to hold on to it and just take the tackle, didn't force it.
Stevens takes up the second, has had a pretty good game so far as well. There's not much that's going to stop her as the years on roll by. Left-hand side, Edwards' chance to straighten. Bustles through the first couple. This is dangerous signs for North Beach. Offloading riskily on the outside. Just couldn't quite get there, Smiler. And a very deep turnover into the win for the Eagles here.
But when prop forwards combine, good things don't happen. And that's what we saw there. Edwards, a great run, and then the offload. Oh, we've got a strip now. Joondalup straight back on the attack. Anika Stevens, clever football. Biddle, long ball. And they were in the corner if they were able to clasp onto that one. But the ball hits the deck. Policidio unable to catch up to the pass from Biddle.
Jeez, it was a quick one-on-one strip by Stevens. You took your eyes off the game for a quarter of a second to look at me, Donnie, and I had to strip back over there. It was a class act.
Yeah, that was in my in the middle of my joke, just taking the mick out of front rowers.
Yeah. Next week. Next week.
I'm sure we'll see front rowers combine at some other stage and terrible things happen.
Here we are, girls, have a look at me.
Deep inside, Eagles this time need to find an outlet. A good run on the right-hand side.
Well, Campbell's probably looked there most likely.
Here we are, 2.
She's run the ball hard and straight and has caused some headaches for Joondalup. Unfortunately, she can't take 6 carries every set of 6.
Yeah, but she's probably going to have to do 2 for the first 20 minutes of this half. 2 every set. She's set out on the left, 2 out here. Not going to go to her this time. Anika Stevens rolling backwards. Now they can go backdoor play. Good chance here. Funga, outside ball. Winger with a little bit of space to run now. Rose Wallace looks inside, doesn't have the pace to escape. Good coverage tackling.
Trying to find a pass and there was nothing but giants there.
Got to be careful, the retreating player there. Got in the passing channel. Little chip over the top, not really to anywhere. Funga. And they are turning over the ball 20 metres out.
Yeah, that was the chip over the top for the try that looked really good in Shamondale's head, but didn't quite execute it the way that she'd planned it out. Now the Giants with the ball. Stevens out to Edwards. Once again, a handful. That runs straight into Campbell on this occasion. Now Wiley, ball in 2 hands. The ball hits the deck. It's picked up on the bounce. The Giants come back infield through Cave. Steps out of 1 tackle. Picked up and driven back to the other side of halfway.
Yeah, good.
Parakura Shernak goes down the short side. Picks up the winger, and on the last tackle, they're right up against this sideline. There's only one way they can go. Go to Stevens. Look at this chasing line. Oh, just sits up, and somehow Rose Wallace grabs that one between the legs and holds onto it.
I was nervous for her there. There's 3 Joondalup Giants coming straight at it. It's going to bounce. Luckily, just kicks up from the shins and goes into the basket. The Eagles set up deep again. Oh, big tackle. Offloaded away. Makes it even more dangerous for the turnover at the bottom, and it is.
It's knock on Joondalup. Well, that was a terrified offload, I think. There was a big defence and picked up and throws the pass back in desperation and then just diving on it.
Rose Wallace didn't want it. 2-on-1 out on the wing there anyway. There's no offload to be thrown there.
Yeah, the knock-on called against Porter.
Good movement away from the ruck. Held will take it back. Joondalup's line speed supreme though. This is where the fresh legs start coming into play. They can keep high pressure on, even though the attack starts to look better and better from the Eagles. Just trying to shovel it down the right-hand side, Tara Hui.
Well, she waited for an age, waiting for somebody to actually want the ball.
Good inside shuffle, trying to bustle through the line.
Good to see Ada
Cox held, then hit late by Edwards.
She was down injured earlier, Ada Cox, so it's good to see that she's able to get up and continue.
Oh, needed to give the ball first time. Good step on the inside. Now the kick released. Giants had 3 there to cover. Rose Wallace has to stay patient on the wing. Let the attacker cut back on the inside. The cavalry arrives to stop.
Did well there, Rose Wallace, because Biddle was looking to get to the outside of it. You see a good charge from Porter. And again, shows that upper body strength, rolls over, gets a quick play. The ball, Cave comes up with the error. Straight away looking to counter-attack North Beach, but no one on the shoulder there of Lowndes. Now Campbell. Smiler called out of it. So Campbell's able to spin out of one tackle. Gets up to the 40-metre line, and we're going to go back. No advantage. The offside against Kiri Smiler. Even though she did stay out of making the tackle, still penalised for making contact. You see Smiler's there, even though she puts her hands up. She still ends up with the penalty going against her. That kick for the sideline. Well, it bounced inside the field of play. If Joondalup were awake to it, Porter couldn't get to the ball. So North Beach, the best opportunity they've had since they scored first points in this game. The score still the same as it was at half-time at 26 points to 6 in favour of the Joondalup Giants. Well run for Pollock. What can they come up with? Funga. Dummies to the inside runner. Now in chance. Morrison pulled down centre field, about 10 out. And well, there we go. It was another one-on-one strip from Mika Stevens, and then didn't get to her feet to play the ball. So she comes up with the ball there in the one-on-one strip and makes a meal of the play. Well, that's
should be penalty.
That's
Joondalup.
definitely ripped out there by Morrison after the tackle was complete. So maybe she did have something to complain about there, Anika Stevens. But it goes in favour of the Seagulls. And a knock on at the base of the scrum.
Repack.
No, repack. Well, they've had a couple go their way in succession, have the Seagulls. I thought Fungo would come up with the error. Now she gets it at the base of the scrum, just has to run. Melody Toby just overrunning her. She has to take that first tackle. What sort of platform can they set? Toby
good ball.
Goes out to White. White carrying 3 towards the line, but can't get over. Tiruhui to Toby, dummied on the outside. Morrison didn't want it. Has to take it herself. Tiruhui, the try scorer earlier. Wide pass. Cox, that's stripped out. I think there was more than one in that tackle.
Seems to be the play though. Giants don't want him completing.
Well, he's going to say knock on North Beach. Wow. This would be an interesting fuel to go and play a replay to see how many numbers were in there, because I'm sure that was ripped out by a Joondalup player.
Two in there. And stripped.
Ripped out. There's definitely 2 at the tackle.
Giants get the luck back off the one they should have before. Cave, strong through the contact, should have given, decides to take on Rose herself. Now gives it on the outside, good chance to build again. Already up to their own 40 through Porter. Gives it off, now Biddle, dangerous in space, steps on the inside, spin move, now gives it off again. Edwards can now settle underneath.
Well, this is like phases in rugby union with the offloads they had going there, the Giants.
Just there for each other. Edwards straight. Now they set out left-hand side again. Good chance with numbers, but they'll just go dicing through the middle. A very composed Joondalup Giants have marched 80 metres in about 3 tackles. Now a chance to straighten things straight through the middle. Wiley. Taryn Wiley just showed it on the outside twice, kept the angle and dots it underneath, and after all that pressure from the Seagulls, it's 30 points to 6 with a kick to come right in front.
Well, that's it. It has been all North Beach through the opening period of this second half, but once Joondalup got the ball, the first passage of play was exhilarating there from the Giants, and it's finished by a player that's probably been one of the best on the field in Taryn Wiley. I think both the halves for Joondalup have been sensational. Obviously, Anika Stevens, we expected from her every week what she's been able to produce here tonight. But, yeah, I think the halves for Joondalup have been great.
It's going to be tricky to do the points this evening, actually, Donnie. We're going to need something to happen in the second half here to put a shining light through.
Well, I'll tell you one person that will be happy with where this try's been scored, and it's Anika Cave. A little bit of an easier conversion attempt from right in front.
Well, she was the first one involved in the play. Got those first metres in the half line break. There's a nicely over the top. No problems for Cave this time. 32 plays 6. Joondalup well up.
It's been an impressive showing. After conceding first points, that they've really been in charge of the game from that moment. Basically, as soon as they started completing sets, they've looked a better team. There's a couple of errors early, and probably started the second half in much the same fashion with a couple of errors as well. And now they're into their work and ready to roll through the remaining period of this game.
They need an error off the kick here. Get this aggressively going towards the paint. Try to put Porter on under pressure here, short left. Does exactly that, but it's a floater for her. Porter takes, cracks on the inside, beats half a tackle and gets back to halfway just like that. Quick play of the ball. They want to move it fast. Good carry. Anderson Hamlin gaining 10 metres of tackle at the moment. Stevens outside, Edwards. Rock solid as always. Giants after 3, 30 out. All set deep wide left. Wiley goes back to Cave. Cave gives off early. Chance for the 2-on-1 in the corner. Just got it dotted across the line, pulled up short. Oh, sorry, 10 to go. I've got the wrong flag, Donnie.
Great bit of defence there. I think it might have been Gabby Mouet, was it? From North Beach coming across in cover.
Good from Micah again. Sparrow plays last year. Where's the option? Stevens goes high and wide. It's got the wind. It's going to be on in the corner. Bounces over the head. Stays in the field of play. Just got to get it over the line and score. And you can't stop them this evening. Another one for the Joondalup Giants. This one in Pelicido.
Well, it was a great kick across field, and Emily Rose Wallace, she watched this one float over her head, knowing that she was the closest to the sideline. Policidio didn't quite get the bounce that she wanted, had to go back and get it in the field of play, and in the end it still had a bit of work to do and had to control that one down to the ground to get the 4 points. But it was a great kick there from Anika Stevens across field to set that one up.
She has been tremendous as always, Anika Stevens tonight. That's just a good kick. That's awareness with the wind and everything. You know, you got them sucked in short side. Probably could have done it through the hands, but, you know, it's 5th tackle. We're 10 out. We're going up.
Yeah, absolutely. It was always the play. There was plenty of space out there and plenty of Giants jerseys. But once again, Cave from the sideline. So she gets one from in front. That's all you get tonight.
The wind should blow it in, as long as you just hang it just outside the left and give it a hoof. It's done that, but it might be skinny.
She's given a few a hoof tonight, but just hasn't quite been able to get too many to sail over the uprights. That one falling just short, but still 36 points to 6 on the Cash Converter scoreboard as we once again have another look at this try to Rihanna Policidio. Dots down in the corner, despite the attention there of Emily Rose Wallace. She'll be happy to have scored that one because there was an opportunity early in this second half Off the pass from Biddle that didn't quite hit the mark when she had the line wide open.
Stay behind.
She gets a name on the score sheet. That one's got to go 10. It's gone 10.
Almost.
And charged and attacking that one, Smith. Oof.
9:23.
Already scored one tonight, Smith. Plays that one on the halfway line. Biddle tips that one on to Singleton.
Dead up. Hold. Go to.
Oh, and then there's Anika Stevens.
Out of the points. Gone.
Looked up.
Out of the points. Can't make an error there.
Well, uncharacteristic there from Neeks.
Yeah, just stiff hands, low hands. Had the fingers pointing down instead of getting them up. A rare brain lapse from Anika Stevens.
It's still early in the season, first game of the first season, of course, and coming back from an illness as well, so she'll get sharper as the season goes, which is going to be terrifying for opposition teams because she's been pretty sharp most of the night. Again, some good contact down low.
Good. Hold. Go to.
Showing they can do it on both sides of the ball. That was Biddle with the defence.
Release.
Now Pollitt
Roll away there. Here we are.
taking it forward for North Beach. Slow play the ball though. Comes out with Toby. And going through.
Oh.
Campbell, fullback to beat. Does Cave want a bit? Throws the speculator. Joondalup knocking it backwards. They get back and clean it up.
You're right. It's a knock on.
We're going to say knock on against North Beach.
Off Toby. I think it has to be.
Joondalup P.
Gee, what a barnstorming run this is. Backs the angle, and then look at the pump here. Wants to get to max speed because it's still not quicker than Anika Cave, and Biddle retiring to make the tackle.
Yep, there it is there. I thought it was knocked backwards by Joondalup. That time the referee's getting it right.
Put in.
And the cameras here from Local Media Services Company, once again catching all the great action on the replay.
Move down. Here we are.
They've shown us exactly what's happened all night. As the Joondalup Giants now work it out of their own end. So with a 36-6 lead, they've got 19 players on the Joondalup side. Do you start working through some of those squad players and getting some extra minutes into them that might be beneficial later in the season, or do you want to keep your best players out there for as long as possible?
I think you got to find rotation. We're only in round 2. You got to figure out who we are still first. Big chase on here. Going to be one-on-one. Rose Wallace juggles it backwards, but Biddle rips her down from behind. Yeah, I think it's tricky, Donnie, where you can't get in front of yourselves now. Yeah, 36-6, great scoreline, but you want to dominate this team, finish off the evening, and go, this is where we want to be, and we'll work on that, I don't know, round 8 or 9 if we get another upset. Not upset, but a whitewash.
Yeah, we see the mindset of the Giants there with that play, early tackle kick for Biddle. They're really looking to still play footy. They're not out here to help North Beach save face. They want to put on a score.
We're not bringing out first yearers for their first hit up in this game. No, we're going to finish it off. Deep setup. Nice kick over the top as well. It's a good setup by Funga, but it's going to roll through the hands of Joondalup. This is where they've got to be better. Stop this first tackle. Still able to break 1.5.
And again, like the kick chase there, not quite good enough from North Beach. It was a decent kick there from Funga, but the chase, they came back to exactly where the kick came from. Joondalup, though, coming up with an error.
Funga and Stevens to ground. Stevens even helps her up. Gets
Somebody's got to go back and clean that up. It goes over the shoulder.
Risky ball here.
Back to Rose Wallace. Driven backwards there by Parakura Shernak. Campbell gets hold of the ball this time. Steps back in behind the ruck and good tackle down low. Parakura Shernak once more. Oof. Lowndes Bounces through that first contact. Giants dummy arc getting through a mountain of work defensively. The kick from Toby. Just says, let's get out of here. Puts it down the other end. Gets a bounce. It sits up nicely. The Seagulls have got the ball back. Now with Cox. Cox slow to her feet. Toby puts on the second kick for this set. This time doesn't get the result she wants. And straight away into the backfield, stepping inside Lowndes. Lowndes comes again. Bill, I thought she would have taken her on, but Sinead Lowndes has done fantastically there. She's come up with some great tackles tonight.
Probably the news you don't want to hear. Sinead Campbell's just come off, left shoulder injured.
No, that's not great news at all for North Beach. She's been, as I say, the one that's looked most likely. It means that they're short numbers now. It's 13 v 12 out there on the field for the remainder of this game. And Joondalup having a number of players who are able to roll through off their bench. As we see a good run now. And a pretty soft try. The Joondalup Giants go across to score. And Maria Edwards with her second of the evening.
Yeah, immediately one player off. You just see a struggling defence now with a gaping hole in it, a player down, and it's just a little bit too easy. Just one pass off to the side and good footwork, charging through. Pace of Edwards is hard to stop at the best of times, and they get over for another.
Yeah, I mean, you see on that replay there was certainly nothing special in the lead up there from the Giants. It was just Wiley onto Edwards for a bit of a settler, steps off the left foot, finds some lazy inside defence. I mean, when you're playing with only 13 players, no rotation, nobody gets a breather, you're going to find some lazy defence on the inside at this stage of the night.
Gee, it's a good Friday night. Makes it really tough. Cape for another here. Makeable, that's for sure.
Go to the try scorer straight away, gets a breather, score a try, get a break.
Go.
And taking your time with this conversion attempt. Still a bit of time left on the clock. Knocks that one over. It's 42 points to 6 on the Cash Converter scoreboard as we have another look at Fuel to Go and Play replay. And Maria Edwards just bursting into the backfield. No one at home. Sinead Lowndes, you see again chasing bravely. She's worked a backside off Sinead, but unable to come up with a miracle stop on that occasion.
6 minutes to go here. Make it 5 by the time North Beach dawdle up.
Well, let's see what sort of mood the Giants are in as we get down towards the last 5 minutes of this contest. Can they smell 50?
I can.
They need to score twice in this last 5 minutes to get to 50. So I've had the feeling they've been in a mood all night. I don't know whether they're willing to stop just yet as Smith again diffuses the kick-off. Will play the ball just short of the halfway line.
Good angles. Anderson Hamlin.
Here we are. Go two.
Chance for a flat ball, but they just go from half again.
19, move.
Just gaining metres for fun at the moment. The Giants not getting any line speed out of the Eagles anymore. One shooter this time. Causes a bit of a mismatch, but Cave runs straight into her. Offload. Backwards the call and a chance for Wiley to crack on the left-hand side again. Down into the corner. Wiley goes. And just like that, they're on for 50 here because this one should be a 6-pointer after the kick to come.
Well, Taryn Wiley, she has been fantastic, deservedly rewarded with a hat-trick of tries. She, of course, wasn't the main instigator in creating that one, though. The offload there from Cave. Wiley gets it dummied. Dummy to no one really on her outside when she got the ball and just takes off, is able to bring it around and dot it down under the sticks. That's just fatigue really setting in now for this North Beach side.
Before we go to the points, Donny, positives for the Eagles. Who have you liked? Campbell, obviously.
Yeah, Campbell and Lowndes, I think, have been their best. I think they've been very good for North Beach. In a badly beaten team. I mean, you look at the scoreline and you can see that they've been soundly beaten. But Lowndes' effort throughout has been great, and obviously Cheyenne Campbell was looked the most likely with ball in hand. Really set a platform and created some headaches for Joondalup, like I don't think anybody else has.
Does Lowndes scrape a point from you? Conversion successful in the meantime.
Oh, it's hard to give anybody from North Beach points when it's a 48-6 scoreline.
That's fair enough. There are rules in place. I've got them written down somewhere. Then the Giants, well, you can take a look around the park. I don't think the Edwards, either of them, get a point tonight. They've done their job. You can't blame them. But when it's 48-6 once again, you have to give it to the finishers.
Yeah, well, plenty of points being scored, as I say. I think that the forwards have certainly set the platform, but the halves, both halves, Taryn Wiley and June Biddle have been sensational, working off the back of the work that Edwards and Smiler and Stevens have done. I think that the two halves are sort of right up there. Their spine's been great, but Anika Cave, despite 3 or 4 errors tonight, it's been a bit of a mixed bag for Cave.
Well, who won that one out of the fullbacks?
Well, I think the battle of the fullbacks, I'm leaning towards Lowndes getting it. I think she's come up with
the try-saving tackle. That's 12 points in itself to that battle, whatever the scoring system is.
Absolutely. I think that try-saving tackle is the sort of tackle you see replayed and replayed for the next 15 years. I mean, that's an absolute ripping play.
Good deep ball. One more chance to get to 50 points. 1.5 left on the clock.
Well, this will be about their last opportunity to do so. And he's with Edwards. And as you say, just doing a job. That time gets the offload. Biddle into space. Puts the foot down. Looks to pull out of the tackle. Can't get away. Cave for the corner. Desperation defence of Lowndes. Well, she's won that battle.
Now she gets a point. She has to be a number 1 point. The halves can have the other 2. It's a good kick on the outside. Biddle, usually home free if it's not for that little jersey hold there. Cave, nothing really to have on offer by Rose Wallace. And Lowndes comes in late, and that's her second one in the corner, and she's saved tonight.
Well, I think that might have been Melody Toby that came up with a big play as well. Just clinging on to the jersey of their opposite number, 6 on 6. Knocked back, Sinead Lowndes goes back and cleans it up, slung to the ground by Stevens. It looks like they're going to finish putting on a show defensively. Porter with that shot. North Beach going nowhere. As the clock ticks down. So down into the final 15 seconds. I don't know whether Joondalup will get another use of the ball. Funga, they go wide North Beach, out to Lowndes, Lowndes dummies, and a high tackle penalty to finish this one off. So North Beach will finish with the ball in hand. The Giants won't looks to get to the outside of Smith, does so, but then runs into Biddle and Parakura Shernak. As the siren sounds in the background, well, there's a way to finish with some defensive muscle from the Joondalup Giants, full time here at Blue Force Park, and it is the Joondalup Giants convincingly winning this one, 48-6 on that Cash Converters scoreboard.